this season goes on.
Hobert on 2nd and 11. Incomplete, looking for the tight end, Cleveland once again.
Hey, Hobert does a good job just getting rid of the thing.
So the Saints facing 3rd and 11 from the 23, tied at 14. The numbers on Hobert. 2 touchdown passes, 136 yards. The pitch back to Ricky Williams on 3rd and 11. And Williams picks up the first down.
Hey, that's a big run by the young back. Why is it big? It's big because he runs through Tim McDonald, one of the best in the business. The 49ers free safety comes up, strong safety comes up. Look at this. Williams puts a little move on him and powers right through for the first down.
The 49ers expected pass. Williams needed 11. He gained 12.
I tell you, he is coming into his own. 32 yards on 4 carries in this second half.
Here's Williams on first down, stays on his feet, and then is taken down for a loss of 1. Of course, the son of the all-time winningest coach in Saints history. Jim Jr. was a Saints assistant earlier in this decade.
I spoke to him before the game. He was excited for his dad because the Colts were beating the Patriots, but unfortunately, New England came back to win that one by 2.
On 2nd and 11. Hobert looking for Craver. Marvin Washington got a piece of it.
Nice play by Marvin Washington. Not known for his pass rushing, known more for being a substantial replacement of Barker in the run game. But he did a nice job on that play of getting up into Billy Joe Hobert's face, forcing a bad pass.
So another 3rd down and 11 for the Saints. They converted just moments ago. 3 wide receivers. Hobert out of the shotgun. Hobert fires. Touchdown! Lawrence Dawsey, his first touchdown in 5 years. And the 3rd touchdown pass of the day for Billy Joe Hobert.
Lawrence Dawsey just beats him. He beats him on a corner. He drives deep. Walker respects him too much, gives him too much of a cushion, and Dawsey separates. Hobert throws a perfect pass. Hobert is hot today.
Lawrence Dawsey out of Florida State, spent 5 years in Tampa Bay. He was out of football the last 2 seasons. His last touchdown was right here in San Francisco with the Buccaneers in 1994.
I think besides his mother, you're the only one that would know that.
Now you do as well.
Everyone does.
Back in San Francisco, 49ers have not started the season 0-2 since 1982. And they trail by a touchdown. R.W. McQuarters from the 6. And from the 30 to the 32-yard line, 26-yard return.
Kenny, Billy Joe Hobert threw a perfect touchdown pass when the Saints scored their last one, but he paid the price for it as well. Charles Haley comes through on a stunt. Watch Haley loop around to the underneath. Watch him stick Hobert right there under the chin. Hobert playing with a broken rib. Back in San Francisco, a picture of toughness, a portrait of perseverance in the National Football League. Hobert with a broken rib, playing great football today.
Charlotte Garner also playing great football. His 3rd reception. He gains 9. Tyrone Drakeford made the stop. Coming up Saturday on Fox Saturday Baseball.
Back's magic number is 8.
And what a job Buck Showalter's club has done this year. Charlie Garner.
Look at him go.
Down to the Saints 40. A pickup of 20.
Garner may very well be the answer to the injury of Garrison Hurst. Look at him hit this hole. He absolutely jukes Rob Kelly. Kelly takes a poor angle, and there he goes. He's knocking everybody down. He even knocks Jerry Rice down.
His 4th run today of 10 or more yards.
Kind of a Barry Sanders-esque type of a day for Charlie Garner.
Young throws it away, and Tim, I know what you mean by that. Second and 10 from the 40. Garner down to the 36, a gain of 4.
But they have done a nice job of opening some holes for Charlie Garner and giving Steve Young the run game that he needs to keep him out of known passing situations.
No passing situation right here on 3rd and 6. As Young's pass is nearly picked off by Rob Kelly.
Hey, this is a gutsy play by Rob Kelly. A guy who made himself bigger, faster, and stronger in the offseason. He goes for it all, because if he misses this one here, it's Katie bar the door. Owens is going for 6. But Kelly takes the chance. He's got confidence in his new size and his new strength. He makes a nice play.
And his new number.
New number. A lot of new things.
Chad Stanley's 3rd punt of the day.
This is fake territory here.
No fake this time. Stanley from midfield. End over end. Kennison lets it go. And this time it takes a Saints foul. Back in San Francisco, where the Saints, who beat Carolina last week, lead the 49ers by 7.
Saints offense able to take advantage of the 49ers suspect cornerback position. They're winning this game through the air. 3 touchdown passes for quarterback Billy Joe Hobert.
Hobert on the play action. Incomplete. So it will be 2nd and 10 for the Saints.
Football game to watch.
There's Ricky Williams cutting it to the outside. Forced out of bounds at the 24 by Martin McMillan.
Cunningham over 700 yards of passing and 6 touchdowns in those 2 games.
3rd and 6 for the Saints. Hobart's pass complete, and Cleveland forces his way across the 30 and looks to have the first down using his strength, 272-pound body.
Not only because of the first down, but to reestablish himself with McDonald.
Williams finds a hole across the 35 to the 36 before he was finally tackled by Lee Woodall after a gain of 6.
But then the passing game opened things up a little bit, and then since the first 7 carries, Ricky Williams has really been impressive. He has turned that inner fire loose.
Kennison in motion, 2nd and 4. Williams around McDonald, butting helmets with McMillan. Penalty marker on the play. Another flag comes in.
It's probably going to be holding against the Saints. Yes, it is.
Only the 2nd Saints penalty of the game.
There's McDonald working right there. Cleveland grabs hold of him. Nice call by the officials. It's easy to see when it's out there on the corner of the play, out in the perimeter. You're wide open, you're exposed.
2nd and 14. Here comes the blitz. Hobert hands it off to Lamar Smith, who had a big second half last week after Williams left the game with the ankle injury.
I've had that feeling.
Saints have had success on 3rd downs today. They're 4 of 9. 3 wide receivers, 3rd and 7. Hobert has the first down. Andre Hastings with his first catch of the day.
What incredible composure by Billy Joe Hobert. The crowd's against him. He has to walk up under the center, check it off. Look at the quick release here. Zips that ball in perfectly to Andre Hastings. Hey, he called the perfect check off. He read the defense. The ball had to be snapped just as the play clock ran out.
And the Saints are now perfect in the second half on third downs, 4 for 4. From their own 44-yard line. Holbert with time swings it out, but the pass was behind Aaron Craver. Holbert won a national championship in 1991, playing ahead of Mark Brunell on Washington. This time Craver comes up with it to the 45.
He's given up a touchdown. McMillan thrown at only once. He came up with an interception.
At the end of the half?
Yeah. McWhorter's thrown at once for a TD. Newsome thrown at once for a TD. So these guys have really been under siege so far this afternoon.
Especially Darnell Walker. Holbert from the shotgun. Under pressure. And the catch is made by Aaron Craver. Penalty markers.
I tell you what, I don't know which impresses me more about Billy Joe Hobert, the toughness or the arm strength. Again, under incredible pressure from the Niners defense. Charles Haley and Bryant Young on top of him. He gets that ball off.
Offense, number 77. 10 yards penalty remains, third down.
You have to credit Charles Haley with this penalty. Why? Because Haley put such pressure on the quarterback that Rofe is forced to hold him. Here's Haley here. He comes underneath. He's got Willie Rofe jacked up and beaten. But watch Hobert. Look at that sidearm strength to zip that ball out there perfectly. So for everyone who said Charles Haley had no impact last week, he may not show in the statistics, but anyone that knows football knows he just had impact on this game here today.
Following the penalty, the Saints force back third down and 19. Hobert hands it off to Ricky Williams. Up to 46. 11-yard gain, but not nearly enough
for halting this Saints drive. I mean, the Willie Rofe penalty because of Charles Haley's pass rush.
Haley, the only player in league history to win 5 Super Bowl rings. Penalty marker on the punt as McWhorter's is upended at the 15-yard line following the 39-yard punt.
Looks like this penalty is against the 49ers. Yep. Holding penalty. Happened out on the perimeter. And that's going to put Steve Young
back in San Francisco, where the 49ers trail by a touchdown. They've won 6 in a row over the Saints. Leroy Glover of the Saints told us yesterday, we're here to win, not just show up.
They're playing like it. They're playing with confidence.
Young's pass is caught. Jerry Rice out to the 25. Pulled down by Rob Kelly. A gain of 18 yards.
Steve Young getting up slow, but this is what you expect from him. The blitz comes absolutely free right up the center. Watch it here. Look at the pressure. Immediate pressure by Chris Bordano. Young's got the release, the savvy. Look at it. He's right on him. Zip gets that ball out there to Jerry Rice perfectly.
Rice's third catch of the day. Here's Garner. And Rob Kelly tripped him up.
Yeah, that's a nice way for Rob Kelly to tackle him. They're learning how you have to tackle Charlie Garner. You have to tackle him low. He's a small guy, so you think, well, I can just come up and pop him and he's going to fold. But you come up, pop him, he'll spin on you and he'll be gone.
Time winding down in this third quarter. We were tied at 14 at the half. And Billy Joe Hobert with his third touchdown pass of the day to Lawrence Dawson here in the third quarter, giving the Saints the lead. Young to Garner, stopped short of the first down by Chris Bordano. And that will do it for the third quarter from San Francisco, with the Saints leading 21-14. Fox NFL Sunday. One of the world's most enduring symbols, the Goodyear Blimp Eagle, has been providing these aerial pictures. Goodyear blimps travel over 100,000 miles every year, covering major sporting events.
You know it's a big game when you see the Goodyear blimp, and this is a big game for the 49ers. Every other time they've gone 0-2, they have never had a winning season.
And Young is stopped on 3rd and 1.
Yes, he is. They stuffed him right at the line of scrimmage. Excellent job by Wayne Martin, Leroy Glover, right in the center of that thing. You know, Wayne Martin is back. He is playing football on the defensive line the way he played it several years ago. I think he's stronger and more determined than he's been. Look at Glover. Look at Martin. Look at that push. That's winning the battle up front. That's a battle in the pits. Wayne Martin, Leroy Glover won it.
Eddie Kennison back deep, awaiting Chad Stanley's punt. Stanley back at his own 20. Another snap from the dirt. This time it's a good one. Good hang time. Fair catch called for by Kennison at the 27-yard line. 38-yard punt by Stanley. Will return to San Francisco after these messages. The major reasons why in his second NFL game, Ricky Williams.
Well, he has really exploded. The first half, he didn't look that comfortable, didn't look that confident, but since then, he has really exploded. Look what he's done. 6.5 yards a carry in the second half, and that has really enabled this Saints offense to be diverse.
First down from the 28. Williams up to the 30. And we should point out that Edgerrin James, who was drafted ahead of Ricky Williams by the Indianapolis Colts, rushed for 100 yards again today. So 2 consecutive 100-yard games to begin his NFL career for Edgerrin James.
I would expect that the way Ricky Williams has run in this second half, first of all, he's shown no signs of being bothered by that injured ankle. So he's playing tough. He's played through that injury. Secondly, he has started to show the acceleration and the power that made Mike Ditka ransom his next 2 drafts to pick him up.
He traded away 6 picks this year, 2 next season to the Washington Redskins. And you wonder if Steve Mariucci accidentally hit the replay challenge button on his belt like Mike Ditka did a week ago, as Phil Luckett went over to chat with Mariucci.
Well, Steve Mariucci has got to be tense right now because they need to win this football game. The 49ers, again, told themselves and everyone else all week long, we're not the team that got beaten by Jacksonville 41-3. We're something entirely different.
Second down and 8. Holbert steps up, fakes the throw, and now hits Ricky Williams at the 36, a gain of 6, so it will be 2nd and 2. Ken Norton made the tackle.
You know, back to Ricky Williams' hands, Kenny. We talked about it at the beginning. He fumbled the first time he had his hands on the ball today. He does have small hands, but he showed nice hands on that last play catching the football.
3rd down and 2. Williams. Williams to the outside.
Nice tackling by Mark McMillan. Very nice tackling.
A loss of 4, and the Saints forced to punt.
When you're 5'7", you're not going to bring Ricky Williams down with a burst of power. You're going to bring him down by accelerating and shooting like a rocket right at his ankles. Watch McMillan. Nice job.
Barnhart's punt nearly blocked. Good rush by the 49ers special teams. And it takes a New Orleans roll inside the 20. Finally down at the 17-yard line. 51 yards on the punt plus the roll.
Drivers.
Beautiful afternoon in San Francisco as the 49ers start from their own 17-yard line. Trailing by a touchdown early 4th quarter. Young back to throw on 1st down. And he hits Goddard. Goddard's 5th catch of the game. Inside Saints territory, down the sidelines, pushed out of bounds at the 30. A 53-yard catch and run by Garner.
Wow, is this kid exciting? Oh, man. Hey, Ray Brown does a great job coming outside here. Watch Brown. Look at the block he puts on Sammy Knight. That springs Garner. And now watch Garner go. Don't get him high, folks. You hit him high, he spins, and he's gone. Garner has had a very big day today so far for the San Francisco 49ers. His 5th catch with a bushel full of yards in the air and running for about 6 yards a carry on the ground.
Longest reception of Garner's 6-year career. Young could not find anyone, has the first down and more, slides to the 16.
That's what Steve Young needs to do. He needs to be Steve Young. He needs to make the quick pass just as he's about to be hit, or he needs to elude the rush and use his running abilities. I've always said that Steve Young is the only quarterback that I've known that could have played quarterback in the NFL, who could have also played running back in the NFL.
First and 10 from the 16. Young to the outside. Terrell Owens. Pulled down by Rob Kelly at the 7. Owens is fired up.
Oh, yeah. He wants that football. 49ers now storming back. 4th quarter. Nice pattern by Owens. Nice catch. And Weary really saves the touchdown.
And then Kelly came over to help out. Owens scored the first touchdown of the game.
Owens is still in the game, and I like to see him there.
Tommy Vardell, who also has a touchdown today. Down to the 3, setting up first and goal.
Don't forget, the 49ers have to win this football game if they're going to be able to look themselves in the mirror. They said all week, last week, aberration. This week, you're going to see the real 49ers.
Two tight ends, first and goal. Young rolling left, dumps it off, and Vardell forced out of bounds by Mark Fields at the 2-yard line.
Hey, that's nice defense by Mark Fields. You have to respect his hitting ability because Tommy Vardell runs a nice pattern. He's out there. Watch Fields close. Look at the closing speed and watch the impact. He lowers it and he stopped Vardell right where he caught the football. That's something you don't want to see if you're a defender. Jerry Rice running around in the end zone.
Second and goal from the 2. Phillips has replaced Garner as Young throws it away.
Nice decision by Steve Young. Nice defense by the New Orleans Saints. They had all of Young's receivers covered, and they had a man coming free on the blitz.
You played against Steve Young for many years. What was it like as a defensive lineman playing against Young?
Incredibly frustrating. Because when you were able to get through the offensive protection, more times than not, he made you miss. Or he got rid of the football just before you got a lick on it.
Third and goal from the 2. And the Saints call timeout.
12 men on the field. Rob Kelly comes off the sideline here and tells the official, hey, timeout. Saves the Saints from a penalty down on the goal line. Probably not the only guy that could count to 12, but the only guy who did.
Yes. And was also quick enough to run down the sideline and call timeout. Third and goal from the 2. Young to the end zone, incomplete. Looking for Tommy Vardell. Double coverage, Rob Kelly and Sammy Knight.
Young just off the mark on that pass. Threw it just slightly behind Tommy Vardell. Classic bootleg, fake the run, Young rolls out. You see it there. Vardell had to reach too far behind himself to catch that football.
And the Niners will go for it on 4th and goal.
Now that's confidence.
Vardell is stopped.
Wow.
Jared Tomich and Mark Fields, along with Chris Bordano, stopping Tommy Vardell on 4th and goal from the 2.
One thing about Chris Bordano at middle linebacker for the Saints, when he comes, he brings a wallop. He wallops Vardell on this play, and the Saints turn the Niners away at the goal line.
New Orleans Saints, 49ers had 1st and goal on the 3, and they stopped San Francisco on 4 consecutive plays. And now Billy Joe Hobert and the Saints back to work. Hobert from the end zone, airing it out. Eddie Kennison, the intended receiver. Coverage on the play by R.W. McQuarters.
Kenny, if the Saints end up winning this game, there will be no play bigger than this tackle by Chris Bordano. Watch 56. Look at the impact. Wham! Just jams Tommy Vardell back into the backfield, and there's Tomich and Fields to help clean up. This is a huge goal line stand for the New Orleans Saints.
Bordano in his 2nd year out of SMU. 2nd and 10 from the 4. Ricky Williams met by Gabe Wilkins. No gain on the play.
And this is just what the 49ers deferred down right here for the New Orleans Saints.
Under 8 minutes to go. 4th quarter. 3rd and 10 from the 4. Hobert for the outside. Kennison.
Oh!
Greg Newsome.
Wow!
Greg Newsome in his 2nd game with the 49ers stops Kennison 2 yards shy of the marker.
Hello. Hello. Greg Newsome beat for a touchdown earlier. Does a nice job of getting back in the good graces of the coaches. Watch this hit here. Wham! Nice play.
So the Niners should have good field position following the Barnhart punt. The corner's waiting at midfield. Penalty marker as the ball rolls across the 50-yard line down to the 48. 39-yard punt by Barnhart, but a penalty flag. It's holding against San Francisco.
Holding, receiving team, number 31. The foul occurred during the kick. 10-yard penalty. 1st down.
Zach Bronco with the Saints leading the 49ers 21-14. Steve Young and the Niners back to work. Charlie Garner, who's had a big day. Over 140 total yards for Garner, and he gains 8 more.
And the Saints, 49ers, have got the time. And they've got the time to take this thing, work it down the field. They don't have to go right to the air. They can continue to use Charlie Garner. He's had an incredible, I mean, a beautiful day running the football.
72 rushing yards for Garner.
Take 25.
88 more receiving yards.
Take 33.
Young on 2nd down. Incomplete. Looking for Terrell Owens.
If you're trying to cover Terrell Owens, this is exactly how you have to do it. Fred Weary does a great job. He has the guts to get up there against the big guy, try to get a little jam, positions himself perfectly on that play. It's good. It's just good defense.
No rest for the Weary. Fred Weary landing in the game.
You were up late last night thinking of that one.
3rd and 3. Here's Young, and he is crushed. A penalty flag as Chris Hewitt brought him down.
That is a gutsy call by the Saints to send a safety on a blitz in a third down situation like that, but it's going to be for naught because that's going to go against the Saints.
Holding defense, number 22. That's a 5-yard penalty with an automatic first down.
Tyrone Drakeford called for the hold, a key penalty. It gives the Niners a new set of downs.
One of the things about sending a safety on a blitz means that you have to put your cornerbacks in man-to-man coverage against 3 pretty doggone good wide receivers. And if you have to put them in man-to-man coverage, the temptation for any cornerback is going to be to grab on and hang on, and sometimes you get caught.
So the 49ers with 1st and 10 from midfield. Young under pressure, taken down. 4th sack of the game for the Saints. Wayne Martin, a loss of 8.
I told you earlier in the game, Wayne Martin is back. He's back on this play here. Look at the pressure. He comes right up the middle. He's got 2 guys on him. He bursts through the double team and sacks Steve Young. Told you this Saints front 7 defensively. They're aggressive. They're good. 4 sacks on Steve Young today. 12 hits. And a lot of that came from some aggressive play calling. 21 blitzes.
2nd and 18. Young to Phillips. Back across the original line of scrimmage to the Saints 45. 13 yards on the play, so it will be 3rd and 5 for the 49ers with 5 minutes to go.
Well, Steve Young spreading the ball around today quite a bit. Gardner and Phillips each with 5 catches, and Owens with only 4, Rice with only 3. So a lot of underneath passing today by Steve Young.
10 completions to the backs, 10 to the wideouts. 4 wide receivers in the game on 3rd and 5. Young crushed again, this time by Keith Mitchell, as the pass is incomplete.
I'll tell you what, they've got to work on their blitz pickup. Keith Mitchell comes absolutely free. Watch 59, right up the gut. No one even touches him, and look at the hit he lays on Steve Young. That's pain.
And for the 4th time today, the 49ers will go for it on 4th down. They were stopped just moments ago on 4th and goal from the 2. 4th and 5. 4 wideouts. Quick drop. And Young's pass incomplete. The intended receiver, J.J. Stokes, a penalty marker as Young took another hard hit.
Wow, that is not good.
Roughing the passer.
You have to wonder if he got a concussion. I mean, he's laying there.
It's a personal foul, roughing the passer.
Defense, number 23.
I'll tell you what, it keeps the drive going. But I don't know if Steve Young can keep going. Another blitz, helmet to helmet. Hewitt just smacks Steve Young, and he has taken an absolute pounding this game. Wow.
And Young will remain in the game. Another first down via penalty. There's Hewitt. So the line of scrimmage is now the New Orleans 30.
How about Steve Young's determination? We talked about Hobert playing with a broken rib, his toughness. How about number 8?
Lawrence Phillips bouncing it outside and gains just 1. Mark Fields chased him down.
A little faster in the National Football League than they are over in the NFL Europe. You make that bounce to the outside here, the linebackers and even the defensive linemen are on you. I don't know how Steve Young's doing it. I really don't. He has been pounded this game.
2nd and 9 from the 29. Quick drop, And the pass is caught by Jerry Rice. Keith Mitchell made the tackle. A gain of 7 down to the 22.
This man is being driven by pride. He said last week was an aberration. He didn't want to think about it. He didn't want to talk about it. We had film on of last week's game in the meeting room yesterday. Steve Young came in. He said, Tim, don't show it. Turn that off. I don't want to see it. Last week was not the San Francisco 49ers. This week is. Steve Young is driving to tie this game right now.
3rd down and about 1.5. Here they come. Sack number 5, and it's Chris Hewitt who was called for the personal foul just moments ago.
Kenny, they got to do something. I mean, the blitzes are, it's not like the blitzes, they're beating anybody. There's no one blocking for Steve Young. Watch Hewitt come off the corner. There's 2 people coming off the corner, absolutely clean. Hewitt and Troy Wilson. And Steve Young, jeez. I mean, that's terrible. That is just terrible blitz pickup by the 49ers offensive line and running backs all day long. 5 sacks. Steve Young hit 15 times. 26 blitzes, and that's what's getting to him. You can't do it. Not only is it bad for today for the 49ers, no matter what the outcome of this game is, it's bad for the rest of the season because Jacksonville blitzed successfully and they hammered Steve Young. The Saints are blitzing successfully and they're hammering Steve Young. If you don't think every other team in the National Football League is going to unload with blitzes on the 49ers, you don't know football.
4th down, 12 to go. 49ers trailing by a touchdown, going for it on 4th down. And Young's pass is incomplete. It hit the ground. Jerry Rice thought he had it. The officials say no.
And they got Steve Young again. Another blitz and another pounding by Steve Young. On Steve Young.
Oh, looked like he had it.
They got to challenge it. They're challenging it. And you know what? They're going to win that challenge.
Yes, they are. Phil Luckett heading over to chat with Steve Mariucci.
And are the 49ers glad
San
for
Francisco
replay?
has challenged the ruling on the field of an incomplete pass.
You better believe they are.
Now the replay we just saw certainly looked like Rice made the catch.
It has to be indisputable visual evidence, and that's as indisputable as it gets. But remember, some of these indisputable things have been disputable. Tony Dungy and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers lost one last week on a replay that people afterwards agreed should have been overturned. Was not overturned. The league called Dungy and apologized. Dungy told everyone about it, publicly criticized the officials and the league, and was fined $10,000.
So Phil Luckett under the hood with 3:08 to go.
So it's not a lock. But if you and I are Phil Luckett,
they may see it touch the ground right there before Rice had possession, depending on what Phil Luckett sees.
Gosh, I mean, it looks like his hands. It looks like his hands are underneath it. I think the original angle that we had is the best. We got great angles of this. Here's the original. Look, it's how slow it is. Kenny, that ball never touches the ground.
Until now, but it seems like Rice had possession. Phil Luckett has 90 seconds to look at it.
Well, it's not a perfect system, but it's a good system to have. It's better than nothing. The problem comes
After reviewing the play, the challenge is upheld. Two-hand catch. First down.
Hey, folks, the system works. It really works. No matter who you are, even if you're Mike Ditka, it works. That was a completed pass. Steve Young held up under the blitz. He got hammered. He got the ball off to Jerry Rice. Jerry Rice did a spectacular job of hanging on to it.
So on a 4th and 12, Steve Mariucci challenges the ruling. And the 49ers keep possession with a first down. And Young throws it through the end zone and a penalty marker. J.J. Stokes was held up by Tyrone Drakeford.
Pass interference, defense, number 22. That's an automatic first down.
Drakeford cannot impede the receiver's movement towards the football. And that's exactly what he did. I know he turned around to play the ball, but even if you're playing the ball, you cannot block the receiver's path the way Drakeford did. There it is right here. There Drakeford is. Gets right on top of Stokes. Blocks him from his path. You got to turn, you got to run with him.
First and goal from the 4, and Tommy Vardell is wrapped up by Wayne Martin.
Hey, don't forget, the Saints did it only moments ago. First down and 3 from the goal to go, and they stuffed them 4 in a row. They turned them back. It's up to these guys here to do it again.
The Saints defense with 5 sacks today.
What an effort. What great effort by the Saints defense. Great effort by the 49ers. Steve Young hanging in there after taking a brutal pounding all afternoon.
Young on 2nd and goal, corner of the end zone. Touchdown! Terrell Owens, his 2nd touchdown catch today.
A brilliant pass by Steve Young. Brilliant. And he is hurting. This is indefensible. The ball is perfectly thrown.
Wayne Ritchie nails the point after. And with 2:03 remaining in San Francisco, we are tied at 21.
You want to talk about passion for the game, what it means? It goes way beyond dollars and cents. It's about winning and about being a champion. And Steve Young is just giving everything of himself to win, everything of himself to be a champion. A perfectly thrown pass in the corner of the end zone. Terrell Owens, great job pulling it in. Steve Young is amazing. He said he'd be back, and he is.
So the replay challenge continued. The 49ers drive on the catch by Jerry Rice. The Niners have tied it on Young's 2nd touchdown pass of the day. Troy Davis from the 3. Davis across the 30. Finally tripped up at the 38-yard line by Mark McMillan. Huge return by Davis, setting up good field position for the Saints with 2 minutes remaining.
Back in San Francisco, where Steve Young led an amazing drive under pressure, 11 plays to tie this football game.
And now Billy Joe Hobert on the run. Incomplete, intended for Eddie Kennison, so the clock stopped. From the 38, 2nd and 10, off the play fake. Hobert's pass is picked off. Lance Schulters. Schulters down the sideline. 64-yard touchdown with a minute 31 remaining.
And that is 49ers football. They said they'd be back. They're back. Steve Young with a drive. Jerry Rice with a catch. Overturned by a replay. And then Lance Schulters, a young second-year player from Hobart College. All week long, people talked about the young from Hofstra College. All week long, people talked about the young players needing to step it up and become a part of this 49ers organization. Lance Schulters just did that.
The 49ers, who trailed by 7 just moments ago, now lead by 7.
Billy Joe Hobert gambling, trying to force this ball in. Schulters leaps beautifully. And now watch this run. Watch him run through Ricky Williams. Watch it. A move there. Williams gets a block by Ken Norton. Heck, Norton's been hunting Williams down all day. And he stones him on that play to spring Schulters for this touchdown. Beautiful play. Let's see if we see Norton's block. Tim McDonald. There's Norton. You see that? Left Ricky Williams in his tracks. Huge, huge defensive play.
Schulters, born in Guyana. He played cricket and soccer as a youngster. Now lives in Brooklyn, New York. And he is the hero of the moment for the 49ers, scoring his first NFL touchdown.
Well, any hero awards are going to have to be shared with Steve Young. Not that Schulters doesn't deserve every bit of it, but Steve Young is amazing.
There was also a penalty called on the Saints following the touchdown, so Wade Ritchie kicked off from the 45. Not the usual 30, and he boomed it into the end zone. So the Saints will start from their own 20-yard line with a minute 31 to play. New Orleans led 21-14 with just over 2 minutes remaining. They now trail 28-21. Hobert from the shotgun. Incomplete. He underthrows Eddie Kennison.
Jim Mora giving the Saints a little taste of their own medicine. Blitzing Ken Norton. Looping Junior Bryant around. Comes free. Puts the hit on Hobert. There's Mora.
Crowd chanting defense, defense. 49ers have won 17 straight regular season home games. As Hobert's pass is caught just shy of the first down marker by Lawrence Dawsey.
And another blitz, and another quarterback getting rid of that ball just before he takes a hit.
Saints have 2 timeouts, 3rd down and 1. Hobert pump fakes, throws, and the catch is made for a first down by Dawsey, out of bounds at the 42. A gain of 13 yards with exactly 1 minute to go.
1 minute to go, and an embattled defensive backfield from the 49ers, with the game now resting on their shoulders. The Saints are going to go right after them. They've got all the cornerbacks out there. And now it's just going to be a bunch of battles downfield between wide receivers and cornerbacks.
Colbert's pass nearly picked off.
It's a catch
By McMillan, and then Hastings made the catch. McMillan thought he had it, and then Hastings pulled it in.
It's a wild ride. McMillan makes a great break on the football. Breaks in front, tips it up. But look at Hastings. You think that's staying with the football, keeping your head in the game, never quitting, never giving up? Really wasn't a bad thrown pass. Hastings just slips on his break.
And he caught it while lying on his back. Timeout, New Orleans. Do they go for two? On the road.
That's the rule. Go for two on the road.
Colbert airing it out. Kennison did not catch up to it.
Darnell Walker had him. You can make up for speed with body position, and that's what Darnell Walker did on that one. Eddie Kennison could beat Darnell Walker 10 out of 10 foot races. But Walker had the right body position to defend that play. Guess what? They're going to get tested again.
45 seconds to go. Four wide receivers for New Orleans.
Comes the blitz.
Colbert forced to throw it away. Good effort by Dawson. 3rd and 10 upcoming.
Jim Mora gambles with the corner blitz. R.W. McQuarters comes free, and Hobert just can't make that throw.
Here they come again as Hobert fires downfield, intended for Hastings. And a penalty marker on the near side. False start against the Saints.
Remains 3rd down.
But they will get 3rd down over. Third and 15. 40 seconds remaining, 4th quarter. 49ers scoring 14 points in a 32-second span.
Blitz again.
Colbert with time. And now the Saints down to one last play. It will be 4th and 15.
The Saints figured out how to pick up the cornerback blitz. McQuarters keeps coming the 3rd time in a row. This time, Ricky Williams puts the block on, gives Hobert the protection. But hey, Mark McMillan had the receiver covered up completely. It's called redemption.
Four wide receivers. 4th and 15. Hobert to Ricky Williams. Stopped about 7 yards short by Darnell Walker. Redemption for Walker.
Ricky Williams is staying down. He's had the bad ankle. He sneaks out here. Great coverage downfield. Nice tackle by Darnell Walker. Like you said, Kenny, that's redemption. Redemption for Walker. Redemption for the 49ers defensive backfield. redemption for the entire 49ers team.
And the Saints forced to take their final timeout due to the injury, so that will give the 49ers the opportunity to run out the clock.
This game was so important for the San Francisco 49ers. If they had lost this game, I believe it would have destroyed their season. It would have destroyed their confidence.
Trailing by 7.
Football game was the pounding that Steve Young took and his unwillingness to lay down. He stayed out there. The doctors came out. The trainers came out. He got hit. He got roughed. He got hit in the head. He got hit every which way you can get hit. But he just kept coming back. He kept in there. He stayed in there. And look at those numbers. Everyone talked about Favre last week. Steve Young is going to keep himself from getting emotional after this game. I don't know.
The 49ers, in typical San Francisco 49er fashion, have come back to win their 18th straight regular season home game. It's their 7th consecutive victory over the Saints, their 7th straight win in a home opener, and they will not fall to 0-2 for the first time since 1982.
Mike Ditka has nothing to be ashamed of. His team played like warriors. They gave everything they had, and so did the guys on the other side of the field. A great football game.
Up next for the 49ers, a Monday night game in Arizona next week. Saints have a bye next week, and then Mike Ditka returns to Chicago. So the 49ers win it with 2 late touchdowns, 28-21 over the New Orleans Saints. And a disappointing loss for Saints head coach Mike Ditka. Let's head down to Jamie Williams.
Okay, guys. Hey, man, we saw it in Brett Favre last week. What is it that keeps your engine going like that?
Jamie, I don't know. You know, just the guys hugging together, kept making plays. We just patience and maturity and just pure fight. Just fight. That's all it is fight out here. It's the NFL, man.
Your health insurance in place?
We'll go ahead and check it out.
Okay, baby.
Right.
Way to go. All right, guys, back upstairs. Wow.
Thanks, Jamie. Despite 5 Saints sacks, the 49ers win it by the score of 28-21. Kenny Albert, Tim Green saying so long from San Francisco. Stay tuned to Fox Sports for a wrap-up of all of today's scores with JB, Terry, Howie, and Chris right after these messages. And for more information, log on to foxsports.com. So long from San Francisco.